Contained within a great meander of the river Lot and backed by steep cliffs, Cahors is famous for its wine, which had its heyday during the 100 Years' War, when Bordeaux became the supply port for England. It was during this high point in the development of the wine trade that the Valandres Bridge was built. Classified by UNESCO since 1998 as a World Heritage Monument on the pilgrim route to St. James of Compostela, it is a perfect example of the fortified architecture of the Middle Ages. 138 meters long, it straddles the Lot in a series of 6-pointed Gothic arches looked down on by 3 square towers 40 meters high. Leave the tourist office by way of the Allée de Fénelon until you reach the group of vines. During works to create an underground car park at the start of this century, the foundations of a Roman amphitheatre which held 5,000 to 6,000 spectators were uncovered. It is evidence of the presence of the Romans from the 1st century and by extension the creation of the Cahors vineyards. Before the arrival of phylloxera at the end of the 1870s, the vineyards covered an area of 80,000 hectares. The dry slopes radiating from Cahors and Mont Saint-Cyr were covered with parcels of land divided by small dry stone walls. Malbec, the grape variety still grown today, was also known under the name Auxerrois. It has spread everywhere, even to the center of the town. Be sure to find out more about it. Opposite the Allée de Fénelon, take the Rue Clemenceau, then turn left down the Rue Fond-du-Bath. Continue as far as the Rue de la Halle, which opens out further on the right. On the corner is the Maison Cavell, now a heritage house. It retains the characteristics of a building which had many uses during the course of its history, in its time a workplace, a shop, a storehouse and a home. The ground floor is notable for its arches dating from the 13th century, and the 2 floors above for its Renaissance windows. The cellar is revealed by a window in the facade. At that time all the inhabitants of Cahors possessed and cultivated a few acres of vines. The grapes were made into wine and stored in the home. Go up the Rue de la Halle, cross the Place Saint-Maurice, then turn left into the Place Jean-Jacques Chapin in order to reach Saint-Étienne Cathedral. At the end of the square turn right into the Rue du Maréchal Foch in order to reach the north door of the cathedral with its sculptured tympanum. Protected by the deep porch, the tympanum shows the Ascension of Christ framed by the martyrdom of Saint-Étienne. In the arch framing the door you can see a small figure on its knees serving himself a jug of wine from a barrel. At this point mention must be made of a certain son of a rich moneylender christened Jacques d'Oez, who became the 2nd Avignon Pope under the name of Jean XXII. He was the founder of the University of Cahors, which opened its doors in 1331. Thanks to its university, Cahors also became a center of learning. It was Jean XXII who had the first papal vineyard at Châteauneuf-du-Pape planted employing wine growers from Cahors. Return to the eastern end of the church and take the Rue de la Chantry to your right. Here is the chapter house fermenting room which dates from the 14th century. It was used as a cellar and wine press for the cathedral canon's wine. The ground floor has arched doorways and the first floor has double windows. Further down the street leads into the courtyard of the St. Jean Archdeaconry, which was built between 1520 and 1543. With its windows with their stone crossbars and medallions, it is a rare example of the Italian Renaissance in Cahors. A sculpted frieze over the door shows a bird of prey hiding in vine tendrils feasting on grapes. At the end of the Rue de la Chantry turn right into Rue St. James. It comes out at the covered market which dates from 1865. Its architecture is often described as eclectic as it combines materials and architectural styles both from the Middle Ages and the Classic period. Here the contrasting colors of brick and stone are combined with rounded arches. In Cahors numerous documents reveal that wine was considered a food. So the innkeepers of Cahors, who wanted to reassure their clientele as to the quality of the wine sold in their establishment, would employ a wine crier, a sort of street salesman. Returning to the tourist office, be sure to request a wine tasting at the Villa Malbec, a real shop window for the Eurosea wines of Cahors, where 86 wine producers are represented. See you again soon on the European cultural route to Vitis, Les Chemins de la Vigne, the paths of wine heritage.